everyone, Ivy Lee Gaming here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, well, we're more watching some Watcher of Realms. We're gonna watch and react to a video from Fastidious. So this video was titled, How 10 Times Actually Works. You are probably wrong. Here's the math. So, am I wrong about the way I've been explaining it or knowing it all of my gaming life? Let's find out.
The finest blood for the most untainted soul.
Alright, so this is a video I kind of expect, like in my head, I think I know what he's gonna say. And based on this chart especially, I'm pretty sure he's explaining it the way that I've always known it from playing other games like Raid Shadow Legends. But I'm curious, like I want to see how he explains it. Does he explain it well? Is this like a good video I can suggest if people are like obviously not understanding it 10 times? Yeah, I'm curious. I just really want to see what he says, and I figured doing some reaction videos, not only to the official Watcher of Realms YouTube channel, but maybe to some content creator stuff could be fun to do every now and then. And also try to, like, you know, maybe I find some other content creators that are smaller that you guys don't know of that we can bring some attention to by doing some reaction videos to like a really impressive run on a gear dungeon or a really fun topic or something that just seems either silly, fun, you know, I kind of want it to be social and positive, or something just super impressive that we're like, people need to see this. Or just, yeah, kind of highlight some content creators along the way and spread the love. So, of course, with that in mind, if you're not already following Fastidious, make sure you'll go check this video out. Give it a quick watch and a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to his channel. And yeah, I'll have that information below, of course, as the OP for the original posting of this video. All right, let's get to it.
How the heck are you, everybody? I'm Fastidious, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to be discussing rate up banners in Watcher of Realms, specifically 10 times rate up banners. So 10x. 10x is a big thing in all gacha games, but particularly in Watcher of Realms, it has a big impact, so it's pretty important. However, based on the conversations I've been having lately in the comment sections of my YouTube videos, as well as on Discord, it's become pretty clear to me that many people, many of you, have a fundamental misunderstanding of how a 10x works. So in this video, I really want to break that down. Moreover, a lot of people I think may understand how it works, but not realize how significantly it can increase the chance of getting a hero in this game, and also how significantly it can suppress the likelihood of getting heroes of the same rarity class in this game. What the heck am I talking about? Let's hop in and find out.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Okie dokie, let's kick off this discussion of 10x with a quick conversation about 2x. Might seem kind of backwards, however, it's going to introduce all the key points, all the key concepts we have to discuss in a simpler way, because fundamentally 2x is easier to understand than 10x. Now, why is that? Well, when you summon for a hero in Watcher of Realms, if you pull one of your summoning crystals, there will be two key moments of RNG applied to that summon, two key moments of random number generation. Essentially, that is the probabilities in the game, the rates in the game being applied to the instance of your summon, determining what hero you're going to get. So what are those two moments? Well, the first moment is going to be when the game determines what hero rarity class you are going to get. So let's break that down right now. So in this game, we have rarity classes for heroes, right? Very typical of a gacha. We've got our legendary lords, our legendaries, epic lords, epics, rare lords, rares, and uncommons. We also have commons, but those cannot be summoned. If we look at these percentages next to each rarity class, this signifies the probability that if you pull a summon, that's the probability you will get a hero from that rarity class. So this represents our first instance of random number generation. Based off of these probabilities you see here, the game is going to make a roll and determine which rarity class you were lucky enough or unlucky enough to get that pull from, right? However, there will be...
Yeah, so if you guys are familiar with Raid Shadow Legends, if you came from it like I did, the rates are pretty much the same. So if you're new to Watcher of Realms, the chance to pull each thing is pretty much the same. And as he's talking about a 2 times event, the difference with what you may know from that game is that this game, not at least not yet, does not give you a 2 times chance to drop epics from an event, only legendaries. There's actually like more legendaries than epics at this point, isn't there? Oh my god. It's weird. Some of the games just do these things a little bit strange, but yeah. 2 times is gonna double your chances of getting the legendary, but it does not affect your pity. If a pity is 200, you still could hit 200. It doesn't mean you're 100% guaranteed to have 2 times the rates. It's just an odds thing. And at the end of the day, you could have the odds in your favor and go with the positive side of the odds, or you could be the unlucky one and you still have to hit 220 for the worst case possible to pull a legendary.
A second roll, and that second roll will determine which hero you actually get. So now the distinction between a 2x and a 10x and what people need to understand. The 2x applies to this first roll, this first instance of RNG. The 2x is directly applied to the entire rarity class. So you can see 2x rate up on legendary heroes. Normally for a legendary lore to be point.
No idea if the fly is out of this room, but you'll tell by my reactions. Live reacting, getting attacked by a housefly. I didn't think they bit. Ouch. It's like that was a little prick. All right, let's continue with the real reaction video.
The 2x is directly applied to the entire rarity class. So you can see 2x rate up on legendary heroes. Normally for a legendary lore to be 0.04% chance, and then for a normal legendary would be 0.46% chance. Those have now doubled, right? So now it's 0.08% chance and 0.92% chance. This stuff seems super obvious because it kind of is. However, something we're already going to take note of, normally when there is no 2x on legendaries, there's no 2x in general on an entire rarity class, the uncommon rarity class is at 50%. You have a 50-50 chance of getting an uncommon. This rate has now been suppressed to 49.5% chance. That is something you want to keep in mind as we go into our discussion of 10x. So in a 10x, the rate up applies not to the first instance of RNG when the hero rarity class is determined, but the second instance when that actual hero is determined. So for this next part, I want to focus on the Morrigan 10x we had 2 ancient banners ago and use that as a case study. Now, here's a blurb from that 10x that explains things pretty well. In Special Ancient Summoning, the drop rates of the following heroes are 10 times the original rates, and this is the important part, the total drop rates of heroes within the same rarity remain the same. So there you go, clear as day. The rate up does not apply to the first roll, but the second one.
As I'm sure he's going to say, but I will give my input beforehand, assuming that I'm correct on this. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I'm saying this wrong. But your chance to pull a legendary doesn't change. It's the same crappy rate, you know? But if you pull a legendary, you're 10 times more likely to get that one hero. It's like you have the whole pool of legendaries. Let's say there is 90. And then there's a 10 times event for one hero. You get 10 of that hero thrown into the pool, so now there's 100 to choose from. And 10 of those are that hero. Or 99, because you already have one, so make it 9 of the hero. I don't know if it's exactly 9 or 10 get added to the pool, but if you pull, you don't have better rates to pull the thing in the first place, but if you do, your odds to get the one thing is what's improved.
The rate for the rarity class is the same. The rate up is applying to the rate of the specific hero. So let's make things a little less abstract. This here shows the Legendary Lord Rarity class hero pool at the time of that 10x. As you can see, our 8 lords plus, of course, Iax. It will be slightly different this weekend, as we will get into later, because we're having the introduction of Elder. So there's another member of the hero pool. It's getting slightly diluted. But you can see there's a 0.8% chance during Ancient Summoning to get one of these heroes from this rarity class pool. So the 10x with Morrigan did not.
So just to be clear, Ancient Summoning events have the same rates for lords as 2 times events do, so to speak. Like, that's why I'm like, wait, but that's a 2 times rate, because he's talking about Ancient Summoning. and ancient summonings, at least when it comes to the legendaries. 0.8% chance is the same as a 2x event with normal summons, rare summoning crystals. And then same goes down for the legendary crystals. The rate during a 2x and you pull on legendary crystals is the same as pulling on the normal banner for an ancient summoning event.
Not applied to the actual 0.8% drop rate. It is, all right, you've hit that 0.8% chance. Now what's the chance you are going to get that hero? Okay, so now knowing our hero pool for this rarity class, we got to see what the normal rates would look like without 10x to see the crazy power of the 10x when you have such a limited hero pool among a rarity class. So here you go. These are our 9 lords or 8 lords
supposedly
plus IX,
equal
and you
rates.
can see it's just 100% divided by 9. Of course, we're assuming you've already rolled the legendary lord. Now, what's the chance you're going to get any hero? Well, it's an even distribution. We are going to assume an even distribution, which of course is a slightly crazy thing to do in this game, but for the sake of this exercise, we are going to do that. You can see 11.11% chance to get all of them. So I mentioned before, when you apply the 10x, the rate of the 10x hero is going to skyrocket, but also the rate of the other hero is going to be suppressed. So what does that look like? Let's show you right now. That blue, that over 50% blue, that is going to be Morgan. So now, why is that? Well, before we had a hero pool of 9 heroes, right? The way to think of the 10x is just think as if there was 10 times as much Morgan as there were before. So essentially we're throwing 9 more instances of Morgan into the pool. So instead of each hero having a 1 out of 9 chance, each hero is having a 1 out of 19 chance because we threw in 9 more copies of Morgan to make sure there were 10 of her, 10 times 1.
Exactly.
And then there's gonna be 10 out of 18 of Morgan. And those are the numbers you are seeing here. So teeny tiny numbers, they went down to what, 5.56 for the other 8, and then way up over 50% for Morgan. Now, if you really want things to get wacky, what's going to happen this weekend when we have 2 10x lords in this tiny little pool? Let's see. All right, let's start things off a bit calmly again. This is a hypothetical, what this weekend would look like if there was no 10x on any lords, on any heroes from the legendary lord rarity class. Worth pointing out, it's now a 10% chance, not an 11.11% chance. That is because there's now 9 members of this hero pool. We're getting a new addition into the legendary lord rarity class, right? That is going to be the new northerner lord elder. However, this is obviously not the case. This is not.
And like you said, we got a new addition to the pool. So keep that in mind, guys. That's why pulling for certain 10 times I find so much more important the earlier the game is out. Like pulling that first week, trying to get Zilla 2 was the best thing you can do, because during that time, you have a better chance than ever to pull that one hero, because every time they add new heroes to the pool, to the game, these numbers are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, just like how that 11 point whatever percent just went to 10%. So that's a really good visual way to see how that works. I like it.
Not what we're going to see this weekend, because we have a 10x not just on one member of this group, but 2, Gon and Leia. So how wacky tobacky is this going to look? Let me show you right now. This is what it's all about, guys, and this is the point I wanted to make, all right? So as you can see here, the chance to get Gon or Leia is 35.7%. Very, very high. However, that's showing you, as I mentioned in the beginning, there's a significant and sometimes underratedly significant increase that the 10x brings to the heroes that are highlighted. However, look at that suppression of the rates, the decrease in chance to get the other lords. So it goes all the way down to 3.57%.
Yeah, you really don't want to pull if you don't want those heroes.
This is why so many content creators are telling you guys, maybe this is a time to hold off. Let's take a quick step back and use that pizza pie analogy again. Everyone had their own slice, right? So this is what it looked like without the 10x. Everyone gets 1 slice. There are 10 heroes, there are 10 slices. However, now Gon needs 10 slices of his own, and Leia needs 10 slices of her own. So they each get 9 more slices. So now the chances for everyone that isn't Gon or Leia to be summoned is no longer 1 out of 10, but 1 out of 28, because it's 10 plus 9 from Gon, 9 from Leia. And likewise, the chance of getting Gon or Leia is not going to be 1 out of 10, but instead it's going to be 10 out of 28. And that's how you get these crazy, crazy numbers. So as you can see, the only way that those percentages for Leia and Gon go up is by increasing that denominator and decreasing the chance of getting any of the other lords. So if you're not in love with Gon or Leia, you're definitely hurting yourself by going for this banner, because you may get really lucky, hit that 0.8% chance and get that legendary lord or Iax, so someone from the legendary lord rarity class. But it's super, super likely, over 70% chance, over 71% chance, it's going to be Gon or Leia. So you have to be fully prepared, not just to be okay with getting them, but you should be seeking them out. Because if you're like me and maybe you want a Venoma or a Twin Fiend or Elder now that he's joining the pool, they've got these teeny tiny chances. Not only do you have to hit on the 0.8% chance to just get this rarity class in general, but then on top of that, you have to hit on that 3% chance. So it's multiplicative. It's a teeny, tiny percent chance it's going to happen for you. If you do get lucky enough to hit, it is supremely likely, almost a 3 in 4 chance, that you're going to get Leia or Gon. So when you seek out these 10x's, it's really important that those 10x heroes are who you really want. The reason I think it's interesting to make this whole point, to make this whole video around the legendary lord rarity class, is because it's such a small hero pool. As this pool gets diluted, these numbers are going to go down. Let me show you that right now. So here's the final hypothetical just to wrap things up. Let's say Soul Cadence was already getting added to the normal ancient hero summoning pool this weekend. Well, then we'd have 11, right? 11 heroes. The previous 10 now adding Soul Cadence. So now instead of having, we start off at 11.11, right? When we didn't have Elder, then we added Elder, and then it was 10%. Now we're down to 9.09%, and this is without a 10x. So in general, the rates of getting each have gone down. Not the rates of getting a legendary lord have gone down. They remain at 0.8%. However, the rates of getting a specific hero have gone down just by the simple fact that there are more heroes in that summoning pool. Now, if we show this, you can see all the rates continue to go down. So these rates across the board will get suppressed just less and less and less as you add more heroes. So you can see they're lower at, what is that, 3.45% for anyone but Leia and Gon. However, relatively, by adding one more hero, not that much lower. They will eventually slowly even out. They will just go down by a smaller and smaller amount. As you can see here, Leia.
That's exactly why people from a game like Raid Shadow Legends that has 800 champions in it complain about 10 times doesn't mean anything anymore, right? Because this is talking about 10, 11 heroes in the game from that one pool, a lord. You have a pretty good chance that if there's a 10 times lord, you're gonna get the 10 times lord. But yeah, what about when this becomes 50 heroes, 60 heroes, 100, 200 heroes? There's 200 legendaries in the game, and we're talking about a 2 times event on a legendary for a really big game like Raid that's been out for forever. That doesn't mean much. 10 times means nothing once you really get the hero pool so big. So that's why it's so crucial early on in the development of these games, upon their, not development, but like the global releases. It's more important than ever to take advantage of 10 times you actually want, because over time you're just gonna have less and less and less and less chance to pull the characters you want, right? And that includes a normal rate event too. 10 times or not, the pool is always gonna get smaller to pull the one person you want out of that sliver of that pie, when all things are created equal.
And Gon also went down by a more significant amount. That's because they had more slices of the pie, right? So now they're under 34.5%, so it's gonna be just under 69% to get one or the other of those two. So when you have such a small hero pool, you really are targeting, right? So if you're seeking out, you have something like Ancient Summonings, Summoning Crystals. They are so hard to get. You should really wait for the right Ancient Summoning event so you can target, because this pool is gonna stay super small for a super long time. So are you guaranteed that, let's say you did love this 10x and you did want Gon, are you guaranteed you're gonna get him? No, but you've got a way better chance than you would otherwise. Like in this hypothetical, if we take this away, look at that. You went from a 9.09% chance to a almost 34.5% chance. So to wrap it up, let's just throw up our picture over here. So you guys can see, oh my God, where is it? There you go. So this is what we're looking at this weekend, guys. good luck, but I hope this at least, if not changes people's minds, opens up people's eyes to how significantly the 10x is going to impact this. Granted, I want to say it again, I did assume even rates, which is a crazy thing to do in this game, but it is what it is. When it comes to math, you've got to assume sometimes. Anyway, I've been Fastidious. Before I sign off, I have to give a huge thank you to King PM from Discord. He helped me create all of these pie charts. You guys know I'm not the most techie guy in the world, so I so appreciate him for helping me out with that. Guys, I'm off to stream. This has been so freaking hard to film. Oh my God. Like it if you want, comment, mother, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one.
All right, so I guess my final thoughts on this. No, okay, number one, great job, Fastidious, at doing something visual. I guess he had help with the pie charts, but that was really smart. A lot of people see a spreadsheet, see a bunch of numbers, see a long list of words. That's not as, going to stick in your brain or resonate. But when you visually see something that's more a graph, an image, colors, like that actually really helps to convey math a lot more than like spreadsheets and stuff. So I like that. I love the chart for one. I love the chart. He could have just put this on a spreadsheet and said, look at the number difference. But by making a chart, he's helping it appeal to more of the audience that are not so numbers oriented people. This is good for visual learners. So good job, Fastidious. A great video. Yeah, he did a good job explaining it. I really think so. It's the same way I've always explained it. Like I said in the beginning, I kind of cut in and tried to say like how I'd say it. Like, I want to go to the, are we wrong? Or am I wrong? Am I wrong about, I've definitely not been wrong about the way I've thought of a 10 times event or the way I have explained it in the past. I feel like I explain it pretty close to him, although I don't know if I did in the like comments here in this video, but yes, I think I have a really good understanding of how a 10 times actually works. So I'm not wrong there. I definitely feel like I understand that. Good. But you know what I might be wrong about, which maybe I'll reflect that in my future videos of should you summon, when should you summon, which banner should you summon on? We always have those videos out. I know he puts those kind of videos out as well. It's good to listen to multiple content creators talk about their opinions on that, because maybe one way resonates with you a little bit differently. Like, I would say I might be a little bit wrong when I say just always pull during ancient events. But I guess my reality has been, or my thought process has been, related to the fact that there's only one a month anyway. And you might as well try to get something. And there's so many game-changing lords to get that why not just pull? Like, if there's no 10 times and they've just added new heroes to the pool, cool, like, that's fine. That's one thing, right? But, like, think about it now. Like, it's not just legendary lords that we're pulling for in an ancient event. We're also pulling for the Chaos Dominion. Yeah, this is the 10 times part after you've got the odds to roll the lord. Then what? That's kind of what this is. I think maybe I should suggest a little bit more to save than I used to suggest to save. Because, I mean, I guess I've been okay in saying if there's a 10 times hero and you don't have them and you might want them during an ancient event, then just pull. Like, you might as well, because there's not that many events and they're not very often. But even more so, maybe that's all the reason not to pull. Maybe because you only have 10 to 15 summons at a time, 20 maybe, for now until we get deeper in the game. Maybe that's all the more reason to hold on until you get 100, 50, 100, 200 summons for Ancients. Maybe, or just not even how many you get, more so the right time. Like, this is a perfect example of if you have Laia, if you have Gone, and you don't want a dupe for an Awakening 1, or 2, or 3, or whatever you have, if you're crazy, and you really want the other lords more, this is not the time to pull, right? This is not the time to pull. Last week, of course, as the example, because the chances to get them is so much higher. If you don't want them, do you want that chance to get them being so much higher? Probably not. if there's a very specific hero you're hunting, maybe you do save until 10 times comes out for that one hero. But at the same time, they're also adding new characters to the game. Like they added Elder, and like they added Ardea from the Chaos Dominion faction, who's amazing. I want her so bad. So I think but keep in mind, because there was a 10 times, like if you wanted Elder who was added, this is not the time to pull for him because Laia and Gon were higher rates. So you're like, ooh, but they added the new person. I want the new person. This would not be the chance to try to go for Elder, right? It really wouldn't. Or like he gave an example, if they also added Solkadens during this week, like that's not the time to go for them because other people are boosted. So definitely something good to consider when you're thinking about events during a 10 times is you have to want the 10 times hero, or at least not be upset if you get them, because the odds to get them is just so much greater. And if you're really hunting for someone else and you pull during 10 times, I mean, you're suppressing, like you said, you're suppressing your chances to get the one hero you really want. So that's when you should probably pull on it 2 times instead if you're hunting for general characters that are not on 10 times banners. But I love it 10 times with new heroes, right? Especially the Ancients are a whole nother story, but this is a fun example to visually see it with a smaller pool of heroes. So, but all right, guys, hope this conversation was fun and interesting for you guys. Nice job, Fastidious. Again, guys, go support the content creator I'm watching in this video. Go click the link, give it a few minutes of a watch at least, give the thumbs up to the video, and I'll see you in the next one.